Hello, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Okay. That one has two. I've seen these cards all today, I have. So, that's well, not constantly in the same readings, but I like the ending. Okay, we're a little vacant here in the environment, but we'll see why, I'm sure, in a minute. It's funny, I shouldn't be surprised, but it's the way they're popping out is very interesting. It seems like you're connecting to, like, I feel like Scorpio. I don't know why. I'm just randomly saying that, I think. But we'll see. This is definitely Aquarius, though. We got Flamingo with the Seven of Pentacles. Flamingo is a bird that I feel like likes to be seen. It seems like a very showmanship. Like, look at the beautiful flamingo. Like, it's very exotic. It's very beautiful. It stands out in the middle of, like, the pond, I believe, or whatever it's in. A very noticeable bird. It feels like, look at me, I got a lot to do here. And I feel like this is something where your presence is very noted, very well noted, and you know that, but it's also making a positive effect here. And you've been using it to try to get people to move forward and pay attention. You use your notoriety. I don't know if I want to say notoriety, but like, people are noticing you, and you're using it in a good way. Kind of like, since they're noticing me, let me get this message out there. Let me make sure they hear this. If they're noticing me anyway, I might as well use it for a good cause. It's kind of what I'm feeling from it. You're using this, you're constantly putting out this energy. And I feel like there's a lot of small wheels turning. Like, when I'm feeling the wheel of fortune here, the wheel, it's like a bunch of small ones. Like, it's like you're tripping off wheels for all these other people. I'm seeing a lot of them, like, going around and turning, and like you're waking people up in some way, which I know that sounds really cliche at this point in time, but it's kind of like you're pushing other people forward. You're like getting the message out there, like, did you know, I'm getting that constantly. And whatever you're waking these people up to, even though I'm saying it, I'm cringing at the same time, so I don't know, it's what's coming out of my mouth. It makes life a little harder for these people. It's almost like, what you're doing isn't right, you need to change that, and this is why. And it's kind of like they're realizing you're right, and they don't like it, and they don't want to really change. They want to pretend it's not true, but you're also like pointing out, you can ignore it, it's just going to be worse later. You can either pick up a shoebox worth of garbage now, or you can pick up a whole room's worth of garbage later. It's up to you. It takes a lot less time to pick up a shoebox worth rather than a whole room worth, just saying. And it's true. I mean, I feel like that's what you're pushing out there. Like, listen, got a shoebox size. That's your mess. That's shoebox size. Go ahead, ignore it if you want to. It'll just be as big as the room by the time you come back around to it. If you're okay picking that up, I'm okay with you picking that up. You're very effective with your communication. I'm getting you're very effective with it. You got the Spider Spirit with the Temperance card. You're constantly getting the word out there. Once you get somebody's attention, you're keeping it going. You got the Seven of Pentacles talks about constantly working, in my opinion, too. It's not quite there at fruition. It's working towards the goal still. Temperance, waiting for it to come forward, waiting for more elements to come into play. The spider, to me, talks about communication. When something gets stuck in the spider web, immediately the spider knows where it is and goes to it, because where it landed, it communicates, like the web communicates to the spider where it is. You know what I mean? The information comes through the wire. So that's what I'm feeling here. You keep going forward, you keep the message out there, you're perpetuating it, you're holding strong to it, you're not letting it die out, you're making sure people hear it and they can't just walk away from it. Things are moving forward because of this. The Three of Wands talks about travel, or sometimes the ship's coming in. Definitely I get that. It's coming in, things are changing. Things are starting to change. It's almost like you're touching a lot of little people. And once a couple move forward here, a couple move forward there, once other people see those people moving forward, they want to move forward. They're like, well, I don't want to be left behind. So the more, it's like it starts growing exponentially. You know what I mean? It's just once a couple go, a couple more, then more people add in, the more people add in, the more people add in. Seems like it's having that type of effect. That's what I'm getting from this. You're very happy with this you're seeing this realistically. Like, it's going to take some time. The longer it goes, the better it's going to feel. Knight of Cups comes in. The community effort seems to be congealing fairly well, as well as expected. That's it for that. I don't know. I don't feel anything else with that. Like, it's the Knight of Cups. I expected some more energy to come off of that, but you're happy with it. Other people are happy with it. I feel like you get it only so far, though, and then you have to add in the next batch of information. When you add in the next batch of information, I feel like that's the Knight of Wands, kind of like, oh, here's some more information I just learned, just so you all know. It's like people lose, like, do they lose their mind? No. What do they do? Okay, if I just hold the Tower card, people were not expecting there to be more information. You get more information, you share it. People were not expecting this. It's kind of like, I thought you said it was a shoebox. It was a shoebox at that time. Well, how come we now have a wheelbarrow over here with a mess? Because more stuff happened. And I feel like that's what you're coming forward with. Like, all right, yeah, you took care of that shoebox. That was great. By the way, here's another wheelbarrow of stuff I found that we got to fix. And people are like, what are you talking about? How come there's more? You said if we dealt with the shoebox, we were done. But now we got a wheelbarrow? Like, what's going on? And you're like, listen, it showed up. We got to deal with it. If you hadn't dealt with the shoebox at that time, you would have a room worth of garbage plus the wheelbarrow. Because you dealt with the shoebox is gone, but now we have to deal with the wheelbarrow. If we ignored it all, it would have been a house full by the time you came around to it. So you're lucky that you dealt with the shoebox when you did. And you have to explain things like that to people. Kind of like, listen, the way you were going to ignore it, that shoebox would have become a room full. Things happen. The wheelbarrow came in afterwards. I didn't know about that. If you had ignored the shoebox, you wouldn't have known about the wheelbarrow. By the time you came back, it wouldn't have just been a room full of garbage. It would have been a whole house full of garbage. So lucky you listened to me. Lucky you that you came forward and actually, I know you're upset about this and you're not happy, but you're lucky you came forward because it would have been even worse than we thought. I just thought it was going to be a room full of garbage if you ignored it. Would have been a whole house full. So lucky you listened to me. It takes a minute and you have to really explain it. Like, listen, I'm not setting it up this way. It's just what's there. It's what's coming forward. People are cranky about this. Wasp with the Nine of Pentacles. They're trying to set this up for success. And they're not really sure what to do with it. You have to keep talking to it. You have to keep talking to it with the Queen of Swords. And when I'm getting Queen of Swords, I don't feel a bitter energy. What I feel is it's very direct and to the point. And it's kind of like, listen, this is what's happening. If you think I'm setting this up, you're wrong. I'm simply letting you know what's here. More messes keep happening. Messes that weren't planned. We just got to deal with it. I'm in it with you. I'm right there with you. I have to deal with it just as much as you have to deal with it. So we can just handle it, or we can have a fit about it and just keep cleaning up bigger and bigger messes because we're dawdling and we're wasting time bickering over something that's just going to keep happening anyway. It's kind of like you constantly have to explain this to people. That's getting annoying, but I feel like you're okay with it. You're kind of like, well, you're not like, yay, I keep having to explain things, but it's kind of like, well, it's part of the thing. I just got to keep doing it. The World card finally comes in where people are getting on the same page. They're finally understanding. It's like in the beginning they didn't really understand that you're explaining to them what's happening. You're not creating this situation. You're letting them know this is what's happening and this is what we have to do to make this work out. You're the messenger for the most part. You know what I mean? The messenger, maybe you're the director too, but it's kind of like the situation is happening. This is what we got to do with it. And you're just kind of like, I'm not creating it. I'm just making sure we handle it and deal with it as successfully as we can. People seem to finally get on board with you. It takes a lot. It just seems like it's taking a lot for people to get on board with you. Ten of Cups shows up in the environment. when people finally start getting it, people are like, I want to say kind of like ally, like you're getting allies. You're getting the word ally. You're getting some allies here. Okay, the Aquarius is actually looking out for all of us, them included, but why not? You're looking out for yourself and everybody else included. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't be included with this. Like, you're not just looking out for them. It's not like you're, oh, or whatever you want to say. You're just saying, hey, I have to handle this, and I'm trying to give you all the heads up too. They're understanding like where you're coming from more. It's finally clicking in. You're getting allies who are not only helping you with the situation, but they're helping you disperse the information to other people who are having a difficult time with it. They're reinforcing like, no, this is why I know the Aquarius is right. No, this is why I know the Aquarius is helping us avert bigger problems down the road. Communication seems to go better. I don't feel like you have to fight as much, but you do have to keep communication going. You have to keep an eye on it. You have to keep together with your allies, help your allies push it out to other people. When it finally starts going the way it should, I'm getting like justice does show up on your side, but you got to be careful about what's going on. You got to keep an eye on things. You got to kind of pop in there. You got to look over here, look over there. There's a lot of moving around here and there, keeping a spot check here and there, making sure your allies really do understand what you're talking about, checking up on things here and there now and then. Not like you have to micromanage, but spot check. The deer is telling me you have to be careful about how you say things, who you say it to. You're understanding the situation's going a lot better, but certain people just don't seem to connect well with when you tell them things. Certain people, you got to work through a third party. You have to go tell that person so they can tell this person. So that way they don't get all ruffled in the feathers about it. But you are getting the reaction you want. You are getting justice out of this situation. Justice is on your side. In the environment, you got judgment on your side too. But judgment goes forward in a good way for everybody. It's judgment in the favor of the whole situation. Not just you, but everybody gets judgment in their favor. You're helping that happen. You know what I mean? It's judgment for everybody. Judgment, a positive judgment for everybody. You included, obviously. There's going to be weird energy in this situation. The squirrel with the Princess of Pentacles is kind of like weird little pop-up problems here or there is what I'm getting with the squirrel. But I'm also getting like other people seem to be tending to this with the Princess of Pentacles. Like other people, and that's again where I just explained it, like you could go forward to the problem yourself and try to handle it directly, but then, oh no, we're all upset. If you work it around it, like, all right, let me go to this person because they know how to deal with that person. Then everything just kind of smooths out and simmers down. It's almost obnoxious, but at the same time, you're like, whatever. If that's what it takes, I don't care. Whatever makes it work out. Are we there? We're done. I do see that it's going to be judgment in favor of everybody. Justice is on your side. You're doing what you need to do, but judgment goes in the favor of everybody, you included, as it should be. Anything else? I think we're there. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.